Live from the Intrepid Sea, Air, and Space Museum complex. I've never been here before. The place is actually pretty cool. A lot of history here. I got a chance to check it out a little bit before the show. Of course, the Army-Navy football game, the standalone college football game where every other Saturday is just chaos. Well, you got the standalone game, 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and we're looking forward to that, of course. And we'll mention, I'm sure, throughout the course of the show here as we go till 2 o'clock with Carton and Roberts. Now, one thing is, I don't know if I could really yell as loud as I normally do. Usually I come in there, I'm fiery. I like this, I like to let it out. But there's so many people around, sometimes I get insecure. When you're in the studio by yourself, it's just me and Dove, and in this case, Emmanuel Barbari, who's producing. Now I'm surrounded by people, and my insecurity is coming out. But anyway, we're going to let it rip here and have some fun. I know we've been doing a lot of Mets and Giants this week, but I want to get to some Yankee stuff today, and I also want to start with the Jets here. Because I look at this game on Sunday against New Orleans as a game where you might be seeing. Now, I know I'm probably going to hate myself on Monday. You tune in Monday at 10 and be like, what the hell was I thinking on Friday? But I think this might be the beginning of the turn for this franchise. Not that you could have that just in one game, but you're hearing some things from Wilson. I was saying, well, you know what? I feel like it's my sophomore year now. I feel like I've learned a little bit on the go so far. He had that first season, then he gets hurt, and now he comes back, and it's his second season. You saw some positives a week ago against the Eagles. I know they ended up getting beat, and I know the defense couldn't stop anybody, but there were some positives in that game against the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday, specifically offensively. Now, look, they need Eli Moore, and the latest with him is we're going to wait and see if he's healthy enough to practice. That's what I saw. We'll see if Eli Moore is a go or not. That's clearly a big weapon. But forget that. The Saints are banged up themselves, and even if they get Kamara back, I still, New Orleans doesn't really have a quarterback, Taysom Hill or, Simeon, whatever. They're not that good. Even defensively, the Saints have fallen off. They're a team that's going in the wrong direction. The Jets have beaten the Bengals. They did beat the Titans at home. This could be a spot where maybe even as a significant underdog at home, 6, 7 points, something like that, even as an underdog at home, you might Sunday start to see the Jets head in the right direction and maybe keep that momentum going. Now, they got to be competent defensively. It's not just all about Zach Wilson and the offensive line, and if they could run the football with Tevin Coleman or Johnson or whoever else is back there that's healthy, or if Eli Moore can make the plays. It's about the team just looking like a team that, okay, you know what, we've learned so far from the first 13 weeks. We've struggled we've been inconsistent, had some good, had some bad. But maybe this can be the week where you start to see it come together. Not that it's going to be all together and just going to go out there and romp the Saints and then go out there and run the table on their schedule. I'm not saying that. But at some point, you do need to see this group become consistent. And maybe this will be the beginning of that. I think I saw enough last week to at least say, okay, you know what, even with some bad throws from Wilson mixed in, you saw the offense score some points early on, and even with the losses, and that's not the most important thing at this point with the Jets. So to show that they could move the ball, that they could compete at least for the first half against Philadelphia, that was an important thing. And that, to me, when we go into in New York, now we could go over Week 14 and go over the slate of games, and, oh, yeah, the Bucs and Bills, or the Monday night matchup with the Rams and Cardinals. We could go over all that stuff, and that's fun to talk about, and, recap the game from last night, Vikings and the Steelers, if you're able to stay awake during that. Come on, that's not a good football game, although Minnesota did show you how you can run the football. Every time you watch another running back, even Pittsburgh for that matter with Harris, every time you watch another running back, you realize how bad Saquon Barkley is. But the story for New York, for me, this Sunday, is the Jets. It's not about Mike Glennon and the Giants and their dead season. They're relevant to me when, they're done. When Gettleman gets fired, when they make a decision who's going to be calling the shots, what they're going to do with Daniel Jones, Joe Judge. I expect them to be back, but still, that's the story with the Giants. It's not about Mike Glennon on Sunday and what the Giants are going to do against the Chargers, where I would anticipate the Chargers are going to beat them up. It's the Jets. It's about, okay, well, can we start to see something here these final several weeks of the season that gives you legitimate hope next year as a Jet fan? saying, finally, we have our guys. We have our head coach in Robert Saleh. We have our quarterback in Zach Wilson. To date, they've looked overmatched. Now, through the overmatched performance, through 13 weeks, there have been some ups. And I saw enough of that last week to believe that maybe, I just feel like this is a good week for him. Beyond that, who knows, but maybe this will be the start of it. I don't like the Saints at all. I don't think look, they started out playing solid football. Obviously, no Drew Brees. Jameis Winston gets hurt. They don't have a quarterback. But even that, defensively, just New Orleans has not been as good as they were early on in the year. They're all over the place themselves. Coming to MetLife, New Orleans outside of the dome, never been great. Taysom Hill could be annoying because he's going to beat you with his legs. It's infuriating. You make him throw the football. If the Jets can do that as a defense, make him throw the football, they'll be in a great spot to win this game. But I just think it lines up to where, okay, I'm not looking at that spread saying, oh, the Jets can't win this game, the inept Jets. No, I look at this game, put it this way, I think Philadelphia is better than New Orleans. I thought Philadelphia would beat the Jets last week the way that they did, and they did. I feel differently about the opponent this time. I don't think the Saints are as good as Philadelphia, and I feel like the Jets showed enough positives to where I believe maybe they could carry it over this week and give you some more hope. And that's got to be what it's about right now, because it's not about anything else. It's not going to the playoffs. Neither are the Giants. So what are we supposed to do here? New York Football Friday, we're going to talk about the mystery candidate for the Mets, who, by the way, it's still a mystery to me. Dodgers first base coach, who the hell is that? I mean, does it really matter who he – all due respect to him. I'm sure he's a nice guy. And I'm glad he got the opportunity to interview. Best of luck next time. You're not getting this one, buddy. Mystery candidate. Who? Yeah, that is a mystery. But on a Football Friday, if you're in this town, you're a passionate football fan, with the Giants, you're waiting till the end of the year. You already know what you have with Judge and with Barkley and with Jones and with Gettleman. You want change. With the Jets, you're still trying to find out what exactly you have here in year one with Robert Saleh and with the young quarterback in Zach Wilson. And while there are some issues with Zach Wilson and some of the things that he said, and I don't think he's handled himself poorly by any stretch, but he just looks like a young, overmatched kid at times. Where'd you get that, Jerry? Jerry brings overnight. What is this, cookies? Jerry's always finding the food. He looks like a young, overmatched kid. He's not ready to be an NFL quarterback. We've said that. But you know what? They threw him to the Wolves. We've already seen the damage be done, and now maybe he could start to come out of it a little bit. And think of it this way. A lot of the issues that he has are easy throws. Underneath stuff. Right in front of him. We're not talking about the timing, although he can be late on stuff over the middle. He's thrown behind guys. But a lot of it is just way high, throws sailing on him. Or guys in the flat, he's throwing it underneath, throwing it at their feet in the grass. Those things, if he just takes a deep breath, calm down, and be able to connect on those throws, that changes everything. It could change drives, which change games. And I'm excited about what they have in Zach Wilson. And I think this is a weekend where the Jet fan should be excited about what they have. And hopefully we see it go out there. Now, like I said, Monday morning, I sign on at 10 o'clock. I mean, what the hell were you thinking, you idiot? Thinking the Jets are going to go out there and beat the Saints? What's wrong with you? They're terrible. Because it's not just about the offense. It's got to be about C.J. Mosley and that defense as well, that defensive front, that secondary. Saleh putting his guys in position. You know, they've talked about not being embarrassed and not getting – they don't have the respect, and they got to go out there and earn that. They do. They do have to go out there and earn that. Well, what better way to do it against a quarterbackless team in New Orleans on the road in December? Come on now. This is New York. The Aints shouldn't be coming into New York. Jets or Giants, regardless, doesn't matter. And this, in this month of the year, and make it an easy game, even if they are maybe more talented, even if they do get Kamara back. And with him back, that's going to be the focal point of the offense. So the Jets need to plan accordingly. If he does, okay, look, we're going to make them beat us through the air. Throw the football. Hill, Simeon, whoever, throw it to beat us. And if they do, I guess you tip your cap. But I do think the Jets will be able to put up enough points in this game offensively, which is always going to be the big key for this particular year. Can they just be competent defensively to not get blown out? can they make some stops and keep the offense in the game? And then, it's also about ball control with the offense, too. You don't want to just have, plays where, okay, yeah, it's great to have explosive plays and score, but you want to control the game a little bit, especially when you might not be the more talented team. Anyway, the big picture here is that you want to see Zach Wilson, Robert Saleh start showing some things, and I think you're going to get to see that this particular week. Now, I'm here on the remote. I want to talk to Jerry in a little bit because, what's weird, Jerry and I, last time I do these headsets and do remotes, we were doing the Columbia games, which also ties into, I think this is your thing over here. Why don't you come sit next to me over here for a minute? So I'm not used to doing these remote shows, and Jerry and I, though, have done plenty of these. So now you're making me feel comfortable, Jared, that you're here. Makes me feel right at home. You're usually the lead dog, the play-by-play guy, as we heard last night with that beautiful Rutgers call. And it was cool. I'm not a huge college basketball guy,
right? But
I was into it and watching, flipping around. You see on Twitter, there's a ton of different games going on last night. It made me think of, man, remember where the hell we were with the pandemic where there was nothing on. Last night you got women's volleyball, you got hockey, basketball, college basketball, NBA, NFL. It was great, and you did one of the games that was obviously, the big upset with Rutgers beating Purdue. But you and I have done this many times outside of the studio with these exact headsets and done plenty of broadcasts. Now actually people hear us, though, which is nice. But I did want to say before we get to the calls, and we'll get to them at 877-337-6666. So I heard the call, and I heard you talk about the call this morning. And at first when I watched it last night, I was like, my man nailed it. I was happy for you. I thought it was great. But I was watching it with your sound to the video. And then you go on and you rip yourself for the whole call and all that stuff.
I would say rip it. I just thought it could have been better. That's all.
Well, after you explained it, I said, okay, I know why. Because if you listen to it without the video, you don't really know where he is on the floor or whatever.
Correct.
But I thought the temperament was excellent. Now, as somebody who has, it's one thing for Boomer and Joe to talk about, I have stepped on you during these calls where you had the loudmouth idiot like me go, go, touchdown Columbia. That, though, was a little over the top. Did he end up coming on with
He did.
And what did he say?
He's not going to apologize for it, nor should he. He's a guy that played there for 4 years. They didn't have the most success when he played there. Before Steve Peichel got there, they didn't have much success. Matter of fact, they were historically bad the year before Peichel got there. And so when you see a team that's gone from where they were to where they've gotten to, he's excited for the program. Like, he's a Scarlet Knight. He played for 4 years, so he gets it. And it was just one of those nights where I don't think a lot of people gave him much of a chance to win.
What was the line in that game? Were they like
I don't know.
Okay.
To be honest, I'm not sure. I do know, though.
Emmanuel, can you look and see what that spread was? I'm sure he has it.
You got to keep in mind, so Rutgers has very big expectations this year, and understandably so.
Sure.
Second round of the NCAA tournament last year, had a chance to go further.
Peichel's been building them up since he took over.
100%. You get Geo Baker back, Ron Harper Jr., fooled around with the NBA draft, ultimately decided to come back, so you're feeling really good about things. And
he looks just like his father, too. I can't get his father. I can't stand those Bulls. So.
And then you've got you lose to Lafayette, which makes no sense at home. And then you beat Clemson.
13.5 Purdue was fair.
Okay.
That's pretty significant.
You beat Clemson, and then you go to Illinois, and all of the goodwill you had with Clemson goes out the window because they get really beaten up pretty good by the Illini. And so I don't know how many people thought or gave them a chance last night. As I do before every game, I was in his office, and he felt really good about the team, except for the fact that Geo Baker woke up with the flu.
Right.
And he was just coming back from injury, but he also believed that, the matchups might work, and he thought they were going to win. And so as you're watching that game, they get down by 7, and you're like, all right, you got to hold it here, and they go on this run. And then they're down 10 in the second half after they were leading for a lot of it. And the place seemed like, all right, well, they played well, and then here comes the run again. And it was just one of those nights where the 8,000 strong, for sure, there wasn't a seat to be had. And for that ball, remember.
Just because everybody wants to see the Big Ten matchup, top team.
Okay. But keep this in mind. They lost to Lafayette on not a buzzer beater, but a shot with 1 second to go. They lost on the road at DePaul on a buzzer beater. They lost at UMass on a buzzer beater. So they've had 3 games that they've lost by a total of 5 points. And so for them to get one back last night against the number 1 team in the country, it was a cool moment.
Back page of the Post.
Awesome.
Rutgers. I mean,
awesome.
If I had I have a digital edition, I would want you to sign it for me.
I got to tell you, Twitter's an interesting place. Yeah. You know it, I know it. I have never gotten more reaction off of almost anything I've done in my career than last night's game, and Sal, not one negative tweet.
Which is saying something about Twitter. It's incredible.
Blows me away, actually.
And you also don't really know, like, I would never be talking about Rutgers basketball on here, other than, having some fun with you, and we discuss it, but that's a big-time win. There was great reaction. Like I said, back page of the Post, but people on Twitter were fired up about it. It was a pretty big deal. I was surprised you didn't go with the, holy crap, he hit it, because weren't you shocked?
No. Yes. Yes and no. As I said to Austin last night, my partner, and this is why I think I wasn't thrilled with the way I called it. When Williams makes the shot with 3 seconds to go, my first thought is, my God, they don't deserve to lose this. Neither team deserved to lose. I said, they're going to lose on another late bucket like this. I'm like, there's just not enough time. And then all of a sudden, it's like 3, and he's flying.
Yeah.
When he releases the ball, here's why you're not shocked, and I've told you this before. At the end, I'm sure all basketball teams do this. At the end of practice,
they do it all the time.
They do these half-court shots. Sal, when I tell you how many times the first guy gets the ball, puts it in, and they're done. It's amazing. So, and a kid like that, he even shoots. Ron Harper Jr., a lot of the guys will take 3 steps towards half-court to heave it. Harper just shoots a jump shot.
Amazing how strong they are.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you personally. Me, I try to get a basketball up from right on the three-point line. Hard to do.
Yeah, it's tough. 22.5 feet. Not easy.
Yeah, and these guys make it look like they're shooting free throws or layups with the way the ball is. Anyway, I thought it was a great job.
It was fun.
By you, and I could relate, so I was hearing it.
Would have been awesome if you were there.
I was thinking to myself, and you do know you have to lay out. I wanted to hear a little bit more but I get the excitement. It's a radio call for Rutgers.
I think it's great.
People are going to judge it as, you got to let the play-by-play guy do his thing. But
I don't. You know what? It's a Rutgers broadcast, and as I've said to the guys all morning, we love broadcasts like Horden Lapham in Cincinnati with the Bengals.
Right.
Where I guess
they
it's
go
Lapham. Go, and it's like right in the middle of the call. It's fun. You know, at the end of the day, we're having fun. Who cares?
But deep down, do you hate him?
No, he's a great. He took over for my partner Joe Boylan, who unfortunately passed away in March. So it's my first year with Austin. He has been a pro right through. He's awesome.
It didn't bother you at all. Seriously, just you and I now. Well,
no.
What about when I did it? When you would call Columbia to the 5-10, I'm going go, and they replay the highlights.
We not laugh about it?
No, of course. No,
that stuff doesn't bother me.
You're right. You have no ego. Where's that ego? You're a play-by-play guy.
I just call the play.
A lot of guys would be ticked off.
No, I'm not at all. Not even remotely. There were a bunch of people that said, "Where was your call? You can think of something." Like
which is also great.
I don't script anything. It's just I take it as it comes, and whatever happens.
Like Pandemonium Piscataway, which was
but I don't. Yeah, but I don't even know that was. I don't know if that just happened off the top of his head.
Right.
And that's kind of cool that's out there. And if I came up with something,
yeah.
Absolutely. And if I came up with something, great. I didn't. I called it straight, and it was what it was.
Yeah, it was awesome. I enjoyed it. I root for Rutgers because of you. I mean, we had that connection dating back to our Columbia days, so it was cool to see you move on and do the Rutgers stuff, and to have a big moment like that, knocking off the number 1 team in the country.
Fun.
Did it get picked up, like, nationally, the radio call of it?
Everywhere.
Oh, that's awesome.
Someone sent me CNN did it. Someone sent me, I guess, Van Pelt. Maybe not Van Pelt, but ESPN Overnight was running our call. My cousin, who lives in California in Walnut Creek, he texted me at 6:30 this morning, or I guess 9:30 this morning, 6:30 out there, saying he saw it in Good Morning America.
Wow!
Like, what?
You got to get the. Did you already do this? Get the "Let's Go" T-shirts made up. Let's go! Come on, dude. That's a perfect.
I'll tell you what. It's a heck of an idea.
Yeah, of course. On the house, idea. On me because I'm a friend. You tell Austin. You guys take it. Let's go. That's it.
That is a great idea.
With the Rutgers thing in there.
Well, I mean, you can't put the Rutgers thing, but you could use the Rutgers font, and then maybe make money for charity.
Throw in a free calendar. I know you're big on the calendar.
Those are fundraisers right now for the Boomer Esiason Foundation. So I'm not big on the freebies with that. It is a fundraiser.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't need to make you don't need to make money.
We don't make money.
Charity,
we give it out.
but that Let's Go idea. Come on, that's a T-shirt.
It's a great idea.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, Jared. We'll talk to you, I'm sure, throughout the course of the show. But I definitely want to talk to you because of that unique perspective.
I'm here till 11.
All right, cool. What do you think of this place, huh? Hey, can I yell?
I think it's awesome.
Remember how we used to do the remotes, and I used to be afraid. We would do the games, and I'm like, the coaches are right next to us. I don't want to say what I really need to say.
Who are you going to insult here?
I don't care. But who are these guys? We got all sorts of different radio shows.
They're all talking.
Like, who's this loudmouth idiot from New York? I don't want to represent us in a bad way.
You were at the Super Bowl with Mike and Chris. Chris used to open up that show every single Super Bowl
That's
day
a good point.
screaming.
Yeah, but people loved it.
Exactly.
They got used to it. With me, it's like, who's this bald idiot sitting here?
Yeah, just like any
Sal
other bald
Licata.
idiot that's here. You're fine.
You should be on the overnets. As a matter of fact, I am.
And will be.